Hi guys, today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to talk about things about me, and I'm going to give you a little bit of insight about me. So stay tuned. Okay, today's video is a little different. We are going to talk about the 10 non-yarny things about me. And before I get to that, I just want to say thank you and welcome to all my new subscribers. We are getting close to that 300 milestone, and when we do, I'll be doing a giveaway. And I got something big planned for that. So thank you to all the new subscribers for coming along on this journey, and also thank you to all my returning subscribers. I really appreciate you still sticking around here with me and taking the time to hang out. So hopefully you'll find this video here a little bit fun and informative about myself. So let's get started. I've seen other YouTubers in this crafting genre do this, and I thought it would be fun today to give you a little insight about myself. So the first thing I have on my list is I am a mom, and I have 4 children. Their ages are 21, 20, 17, and 12. So that definitely keeps me busy. My older 2 are 14 months apart, so it was like having twins their whole life. So you can't do for one without the other. Of course, I couldn't do for one without the other 4. So, but yeah, so I have 4 children, and definitely keeps me busy. And by the way, that's 3 children, 3 boys and a girl. The 2 older ones are boys. Sorry, excuse me. The 2 older ones are boys, and then I have a daughter, and then I have the youngest one is a boy. Okay, so number 2 is I am a big, huge sports fanatic. I love sports. I am a hometown girl. I love my Detroit teams. I am from Michigan, so I am a Detroit girl for my sports teams. My biggest passion for the first part of sports would be hockey. I'm a big hockey fan, and go Wings. And then second behind that would be I like football. So I know it's hard to be a Lions fan, but I struggle through the best I can. You know, we keep saying maybe one day, but we shall see. It doesn't look good so far, but and then of course my baseball would be my Detroit Tigers. I have some fond memories of going to the Tiger Stadium back when it was, I went to one game before they tore it down, courtesy of my aunt, who has been a lifelong Tiger fan, and she actually has been featured in their little program that they hand out to you when you first walk in, because she does all the get up with the face paint, and she wears tails and ears, and it's like awesome. So I've been able to go to lots of games because of her, and I really appreciate that she lets us do that, because it's really fun and I have a lot of good memories from that. And then I've been to some with my mom and the rest of my family, and those were really fun too. So I'm a big sports fan, and I like basketball too. I just don't watch it as much as I would like to. I've been trying to make more of an effort to get back into that, but right now I really just want to focus on my hockey and my football, but you know, I try to do the best I can. But I love all my Detroit teams, so go Detroit. So number 3 on my list is that I am a multi-race, multi-religion, multicultural family, and I wouldn't trade it for the world. And that is a true statement. I have lots of races and cultural backgrounds in my family. Currently my mom and I are actually doing our ancestry, and so I'm finding out more about that, which is really fun. We did the DNA ancestry test, and it's really cool what you're able to find out from that, and I highly recommend it to anybody. And again, I'm not being sponsored to say this, I just wanted to, you know, I just really enjoy it. I paid for the system, the DNA test myself, but it is really cool, the things that you can find out on there. So I would highly recommend anyone who hasn't done that to do it. It can definitely tell you a lot of information on things that you don't already know, and it's very interesting on some of the things that I've found out. On my mom's side, for example, we have found 2 direct links to 2 prominent families from the Mayflower, which is very cool. And not that it would really matter, but my oldest son thought this was really cool, and so did my other children. But from one of those direct descendants from the Mayflower, if you follow the line down, we are like, it's like 16th or 17th times removed related to Taylor Swift, which was kind of cool. Nothing that you could really write home about or really be like, oh, hey, I'm your family, but it's just kind of cool to think that we, at some point in some time, in history, we shared a connection. So they're very interesting. But yeah, and I'm, like I said, I'm a multi-race, multi-religion. My husband is Jewish, so we do celebrate both Christian ways and Jewish ways in the house. He's not like a die-hard, it's not a strict with Jewish, but he does follow on his dad's side some of the traditions and things, and it's really quite important to him. So we do follow some of like the Hanukkahs and things like that. And then we also do Christmas, and it works for us. Our family, we've never forced our children to decide which one they would like. We always just gave them the option of deciding what they want to do on their own, but we just both celebrate both, and they can choose to participate whichever. And that seems to work for us, and I'm grateful and thankful for all of that, and being able to be a part of all of that in my family. So, and I wouldn't trade any of it for the world. Okay, and then number 4 is I went to college for nursing for a short time. When I was pregnant with my youngest son, right before my husband was going to school for corrections, and I attended school for a little while to be a nurse. I actually, while doing so, excuse me, I had to actually, in the midst of my part of my pregnancy where I had morning sickness, I actually had to dissect or cut open like sheep brains and things. And I know that's gross, so if you want to mute it, I understand. But yeah, it was very interesting. But I did learn a lot, and I'm not to say that I'm an expert of any means, but it was interesting. Some of the knowledge I know, so that now with my husband's medical issues and things, I understand a little bit more. So when the doctors and nurses are telling me things, I kind of got a better sense of what's going on. Again, not an expert by any means, but at least it's nice to be knowledgeable to understand what they're talking about, so that I can get him the proper care. But that was really fun. When I was younger, I always wanted to be a teacher, so it was, but I just thought, or a nurse, and so I just thought, well, why don't I just try something I really wanted to try? So, but here we are. So, number 5 is I have lived in 4 states. So I have lived in Michigan, Georgia, Tennessee, and Kentucky. Okay. So number 6 is, so my husband and I are huge nerds. I don't know, I didn't normally classify myself as that, but I find more and more that I kind of am, and I'm proud of it. We are huge Doctor Who and Star Wars fans, and I'll go into a little bit about that in a minute. But my husband's always been a Star Wars fan, and I kind of liked it too. I'm really into it now. I've seen the shows when I was younger, or the movies and that. And then we also went to Comic-Con locally here at Motor City Comic-Con, which, by the way, if you're ever in Michigan around in May, Motor City Comic-Con is amazing. Again, not being paid to say that, just went there twice myself and found it very amazing. They bring very good guests and famous people and artists and all this kind of stuff to there. We also are very big into Marvel and DC, and we also are into Supernatural, which, by the way, I have to point out that I'm very sad that it's going to be ending this season, but long live Jared and Jensen and Sam and Dean and Castiel and all of them. I just love it. Plus, we like other shows like Bones and CIS. I mean, the list goes on and on. I think I wrote a list one day of all the shows I watch and want to watch, and it was like over 3-4 pages. Huge composition pages, like over 300 shows. Like, it's crazy. But speaking of being a Doctor Who fan, so I'm a huge Doctor Who fan. I have a sign from the Comic-Con from 2 years ago, I believe it was. I actually met Billie Piper, and she signed my purse, which is a TARDIS. Super, super cool. very excited. And my plan is to eventually get all of their signatures. Now this year David Tennant was at Comic-Con. However, I did not get to get his autograph because financial reasons and time just didn't allow it. But I hope that he'll come back, and or I'll find him at a different con that's close and I can go see him. But anyway, and I was really kind of bummed and sad, but it's okay. Things happen. I'm sure one day I'll get to see him. But, and that's another show I want to watch. If anybody's seen it, or it's that Good Omens. I can't wait to check that out. But anyway, so I began to watch Doctor Who, and I hadn't, for like, my husband and I have been together for a long time, and he used to tell me he used to watch this show, and I had no idea what he was talking about, and he was kind of weirded out that I didn't know, but I didn't really know. And so one day I work at my local craft store, and customer called and wanted some Doctor Who fabric, and I was like, okay. And they called it the Exploding TARDIS, and so I'm like, okay, well, let me go see if I can find that. Well, all I had was the article number, and my machine wasn't working, so I couldn't see a picture, and I'm like, you know, trying to find this fabric, and I can't find this fabric, and I don't know what it looks like. And so I eventually found it. But then I decided, well, you know, maybe I should watch this and see what it's all about, since my husband really wanted me to see it, and people are calling about it. It seems, you know, exciting. So, and then I rented the DVDs from my local library, and which was very cool. They had most of the series, is what they call them over in England, or seasons is what I call them, over there. So I started watching them, and I got through the first season, or series 9, and I liked it. It was a little slow at first. I thought it was a little kind of you know, it's kind of corny, like 1980s corny, you know, spoofish type. But honestly, now that I've watched it for so long, I appreciate that, and I think it's awesome. And it's just the kind of the feel of that doctor. Eccleston played that doctor perfectly, and now I appreciate it. And then I moved on, obviously, to David Tennant, and even though I appreciate all the other doctors, David Tennant is my favorite. He is my all-time favorite. I just love his quirkiness and how his ability to play that character so well, and bring in all the aspects of all the other Doctor Who's, the research he did to do the role. And his doctor has the same type of sarcastic charm that my husband has too, so that kind of helps. But like I said, I love Matt Smith too. Matt Smith in his own way is my personal second favorite. I haven't, unfortunately, got caught up to watch the girl doctor. I'm still watching Peter Capaldi. I'm still only like 2 seasons in on him, and I'm almost done. So I can't wait to get to that. But like I said, I have so many shows, I just can't get through them all. So yeah, so that's another thing about me. And then I have driven a semi-truck. So most people I tell that to, they think, oh my gosh, really? I actually, for a little while when we were living in Georgia, I was training. I took a small course and learned how to drive a semi. I was thinking about doing that, but then unfortunately one of the instructors I had really kind of scared me. So it makes me nervous now, but I have actually, and it's funny because I never learned how to parallel park, but because my instructor, when I was taking driver's training, actually forgot to go do it. And you know, I got my license, you know, back in the day, kind of dating myself here, but back before all of this stuff where you have to do all this, you know, training courses and all this stuff. I took the course in the summer, I took the test, I was done. So the first time I'd ever parallel parked was when I parallel parked blindsided of a semi-truck on the blind side. And I did it perfect the first time, and my instructor was super impressed. I was impressed because I'm like, really? And I actually drove around the road a couple times, and I mean, I could do it if I kept at it, but the one instructor I had when I was on the road, he was very nerve-wracking, and it was just a bad experience. So I could do it if I had to, but I have done it before, and that's just usually one of those wow moments. I am a cheeseaholic. You can ask my whole family. I love anything cheese, string cheese, melted cheese, anything you can put cheese on. If it's food and you can put cheese on it, I'm willing to try it. Which isn't probably good because sometimes I do have an allergic reaction. and so I shouldn't eat that much cheese. Plus I'm trying to lose weight, so, which by the way, I did that the other day. I joined a gym and we went for the first time, so hopefully that'll go good for me. But so I do have to cut back on the cheese. And number 9, I love 80s music. I am a huge 80s music fan. Of course, I grew up during that time. But my mom said I could, by the time I was 5, I could sing all of the songs word for word and tell you who sang them on the countdown every week. But I love all music, and it stems from having, like I said back before, goes back to having the multicultural, multi-race, multi-family environment. Every aspect of my family, everybody likes different things, and so I've picked up music and things that I like through all things. I like everything from classic to country to pop to hip hop. I'm not too much into like hardcore, like rap, like real hardcore, or like real hardcore heavy metal, but there are a few songs here or there that I will like and I will listen to. But you know, when it gets too vulgar and too so many swear words that it outweighs real words, and you know, bashing cops and things like that, like I'm not into that, because I support the cops and the blue line and all of that, so I'm not into all of that and hatred and all of that kind of stuff. But for them, when it's a song that is good and I'll listen to, I'll give it a try. I like mostly 80s music. I have over 950 songs on my Spotify playlist. Most of them, I'd say 75% of them, are from the 80s. And like I said, everything from country to pop to everything from the 80s. And then I have a lot of 70s music and then some 90s and 2000s and that. But for the most part, everybody who knows me knows I'm an 80s girl. So, and I do, and it's nice because, like I said, I do like some kind of hip hop and R&B and a little bit of rap. And my my youngest brother, Anthony, he is actually pursuing a music career. He has been for a while, and he's doing really well and getting, he had a little setback for a little bit, had some throat issues, but he has got that fixed and he's got it going, and things seem to be looking good for him. He's started his own recording studio at his home, and he's got a lot of things going with that. And I'm going to put a link in the description box down below if you'd like to check him out. His official name for his music is TJA. And most of his stuff you can find him at TJA Official. He does have a Facebook, he has a YouTube, but his company he started for his music and to record is called Voxel Universe. And he also has Voxel Cyphers, where he has people send him videos and they go over it, and people's what they call, I'm not always up on the hip lingo, so apologize Anthony if I get this wrong, but when people spit some bars okay, so I'm old and I don't know what that means, but I tried, Anthony. But anyway, so we'll check it out. I will put a link in the description if you'd like, if you know anybody, if you have kids or anybody who like to check him out. For the most part, his music is kid friendly. There are a few songs that are adult oriented, but it is that kind of music, so you know, it's recommended for those who are appropriate. So but if you are into that kind of thing, I definitely would have you check that out. So I'll put all the links down in the description box, but I have some of his music on my Spotify as well, because I like to support my family members any way I can. Any of them that have anything that they want me to help them do or support, I am all for that. I will always help them out if any way I can. And number 10 is I am a video gamer. My youngest son is a huge gamer, my husband's a gamer, I'm a gamer, my daughter's a gamer, my 2 boys are gamers, we're a gamer family. I don't have a lot of time to game anymore as much as I'd like to, because I'm trying to do YouTube and do my crafts, and I'm working full time and taking care of my family, which is a family of 6, plus my mother-in-law stays with us, so there's a lot going on. But when I do play video games, I like to play RPG games. Role-playing games are my favorite, and my all-time favorite RPG, and a lot of people kind of scoff at it, but is Fable for the Xbox. I prefer Xbox over PlayStation, however I have played on both, and I like qualities from both. So I will play PlayStation games, and I will play Xbox games. I just don't own a PlayStation at the moment, but I used to. I used to play San Andreas on the PlayStation, But I do prefer Xbox over PlayStation. But yeah, I love to play video games. The only game I've ever beaten though is the Simpsons Hit and Run on Xbox. So, but I do love to game. I used to sit and we used to play when my husband and I first got together, and we would play football, Madden football together, and I've actually beaten him a couple times. So there you have it. That is 10 non-yarny things about me. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, and thank you so much for watching. And this was so much fun. I challenge my other yarny YouTubers or crafting YouTubers out there. If you have a channel and I would challenge you to do the 10 non-yarny things about yourself challenge. And if you're not a crafter or in this crafting genre and you're still a subscriber, you could do the same challenge, but do it but with what pertains to your genre. So if you're homesteading, you could be 10 non-homesteading things about yourself. You could do 10 non-farming things about yourself, but I would specifically call out my dad. Sorry, Dad, calling you out. I will challenge you and Mrs. Heaven's Gates Cherry Farm to do a 10 non-cherry farm things about ourselves. So that would be awesome, and if you'd like to check out their channel so you can see when they post that video or other great videos about my dad's farm channel, I will put the description down below, but their channel is Heaven's Gates Cherry Farm, and like I said, I'll put a description down below, but they're also the ones that I did the collaboration video with for the pasta stuffed shells. So if you want to check that out, it's in my playlist. But like I said, I'm challenging Heaven's Gates Cherry Farm to a 10 non-cherry farm things about yourself. So hopefully he'll be able to get a video up for that. And we'll look forward to seeing some cool, interesting things maybe we don't know about you. So anyway, like I said, thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all my new subscribers. And if you know anyone who are interested in this kind of content or would enjoy seeing my videos, I sure would appreciate it. It would get us to that 300 subscriber mark so we could have that giveaway. And so if you could, I would appreciate it if you could share this with your friends on your social medias. And that is all I have for you today. Alright, so stay tuned and look forward. I'm going to be having my next Stitch Weekly video coming up. It'll be number 2. So stay tuned for that. And as always, so what is in your craft room today? Bye!